Hey everyone, hey and welcome back to yet another episode of Battle Rap Resume. This is your host Tom Quee. Thank you so much for joining me. Before we get to today's guest, I just want to say what I always say at the top of the show. You've heard this stuff a million times before. Please follow us at Battle Rap Resume. Please subscribe if you're listening to us on YouTube, if you're, on your phone or on your tablet or whatever, Stitcher, iTunes, Downcast, wherever. Just make sure that you got it locked in. We're releasing an episode a week and there's lots of extra content, lots of previews and recaps and top fives and whatever. So yeah, just to make sure you get all that content, please subscribe on whatever channel you're using. Please write us a review as well on iTunes. That would be greatly appreciated if you want to help the show. And if you want to go even further, you can go on Patreon, patreon.com/BattleRapResume if you want to have extra content. We have exclusive episodes on there and previews of upcoming stuff. And just if you want to give back to the show, I would really appreciate it. Of course, it's not mandatory in the slightest. The show will always be free. But yeah, patreon.com/BattleRapResume. Christmas has just gone, but if you want to get someone a gift for that loved one, Battle Rap Resume t-shirts, mouse mats, key rings, redbubble.com/BattleRapResume. But that's enough of the merchandising. We'll get into today's guest, who is a man of many talents, many names. Sleepy, Kuvu, and Soul refers to you as the DJ against Raptor. You got that kind of, you got many monikers, haven't you?
Yeah, man. I mean, I've been around for a minute. Like, I don't really like to stick to one thing. If you know what I mean? I get bored quite easily.
And how long? I have to admit, I did a little bit of Facebook sleuthing about 10 minutes ago, and I noticed that you used to go by Mr. Sleeps. Is that right?
Yeah. I used to. Back in the dubstep days, way back when. Right.
So that was your first name when you kicked off.
I'd say that. Like, obviously, everyone has like names in school and stuff like that. This stuff always rotates, but that's the first sort of moniker I like. That I don't know if that's the right word, but that's the first sort of name I followed and sort of pursued.
That is a very sort of 2009 dubstep DJ name, isn't it? Kind of...
I ain't done a name without a cool letter in it yet.
Right. And I mean, so you were much more. I mean, was battle rap a thing you were into back then, or was it the DJing was?
I think, well, I'll give you a rough overview. I started producing and rapping and everything when I was about 12, 13. And I started getting a little bit of interest from labels and stuff, and just putting tunes out here and there. Like, there's loads of old stuff from Mr. Sleep still up on iTunes, like proper tear out dubstep stuff. And that was when I was like 13, 14, 15, and like I'd followed battling since I was about 16, 17. I mean, I've been around just doing general, if it be it music or rapping or being whatever for about 9 years now, roughly. So, yeah.
And I mean, Mr. Sleeps into Sleepy G. When is that transition happening?
That's, I don't know. When was it? 2013. I mean, originally, it was meant as like a track production alias. Like, it was meant to be a different, like, so I had a couple of EPs lined up with different labels and whatever, and they sort of fell through. And it was meant to be more like a trap sort of production alias kind of thing. And then, yeah, basically, I ended at the time that I eventually did like a tryout for Don't Flop. That was the name I was rolling with, so I didn't really have anything else released with that. So that was sort of how that went through. That was about 2013, like late 2013.
And yourself and Callum Martin, were you friends back in the day?
Yeah. Well, he was in my class at school. So,
is that right? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, we've been boys for years.
All right, excellent. Yeah, I mean, it's a shame really, because I did have Callum on the show and we recorded a great episode, and stupidly I deleted it.
I'd have listened to that one.
Yeah. No, I'm sure many people, because obviously
knowledge.
Yeah, no, definitely, and we are definitely going to record another one as well. Yeah, it was so annoying, and I want to apologise again to Callum, but we'll get into all that sort of stuff. So where does this happen in your head, where you've been making music for so long? Had you been rapping on those beats and that came to battling, or?
Well, the thing with rapping for me is it's always something I did. It was just sort of something that a lot of people started, but obviously everyone does it. It sort of has a go at school or whatever, and I was one of the people that sort of stuck with it. And like at youth centres and whatever, I was always like going over bars and whatever, and like I'd done a few shows here and there, like hosted a few things. But it was never sort of like my main avenue, if you know what I mean. It was something I'd always done, but it was never like the main thing. It was always making beats or DJing or whatever.
And you say you hosted. What were you hosting back in the day?
Literally just like live sets and radio sets and stuff like that.
Right.
This is when I was like 14, 15.
Okay, so, yeah, no, definitely. So we get on to the tryout, Sleepy, against Krayze.
And Krayze, you've got to be crazy if you reckon you could ever try take me. But I suppose that means you're living up to your name. I don't know, maybe. I've heard you like to hate on stars. So God save me if you try to shut mine down. You'll leave this place with more hate than the Iron Lady. Oh, okay, let's go. Hey.
This was Rapping It Park, is that right?
Yeah.
Were you on the flyer? I was trying to find the original flyer. I couldn't find it.
Yeah. It was what happened was there was 2 Rapping It Parks. The first one was the one where who tried out there was a couple of people who tried out the first. Kojo tried out the first one.
Oh, was that the Mac Sherry one as well?
Yeah. That was the first one, and then the second one was like 2 weeks later. And I'll tell you something. The first one, I was gonna put my head in for the first one, and I sort of like went, "Nah, I'm not gonna do it. Mm-hmm. And then the second poster came out, like the second application thing came out, like a week later. And I went, yeah. I'm gonna do it. I'm definitely gonna do it this time. So like I wouldn't have been doing it if it hadn't have been for that second thing, basically.
Yeah, and
so yeah, Rapping It Part 2.
And that was kind of the notorious one, wasn't it? That was riddled with chokes, or
that was hilarious.
Yeah,
I mean, it weren't hilarious for me, but yeah, looking back, it was very funny.
Was that the one where I've just heard through the grapevine, just like gave everyone a big speech and just
basically what happened is there'd been like a quite major choke in every battle before mine,
right?
And then it literally the 2 like choked badly before me, and I'm about to step up. Ryan like comes out. It comes out and goes, literally, if you're gonna fucking choke, you may as well just go home. Blah blah blah. And I was like feeling quite confident before that, and then a second later, I just for fuck, I wasn't gonna choke, but like I might now. Like I was cool before this, and now I am. Yeah, and I was quaking in my boots.
Sleepy, am I right in thinking you've never choked?
I've never, not to this day, no, I still never have.
That's crazy. You've got a fair few battles as well.
Yeah, I think it's 12 or 13. I can't really remember. There's one which never got released as well with Innuendo, so I don't know if that counts.
Right. Yeah, that was that. I heard about that, where you had to like write just...
24 hours, 24 bars in 24 hours, yeah. I lost, so it doesn't really matter. I think I won, but I lost.
Right. Yeah, Verse Tracker, the veritable Verse Tracker says you have 11 battles. So, to not choke in like 30 odd rounds or so is pretty crazy.
Does that include the Ton 2?
It does, yeah.
It does, cool.
Yeah, it does. But yeah, we'll get to Krayze, who, interesting sort of character. Danny wanted to bring him back recently, I think, for 20 days. Yeah.
There's a funny thing with me, Krayze and Dan. The reason I'm such good friends with Danny now is because him and Krayze used to literally play GTA together. We spent like 3 months literally playing GTA together every day and just like dying laughing, basically. Right. So that's where I've got quite a good relationship with Krayze. Like he's invited me down to where is he based? I should know this.
Right. Doesn't matter. In the hood somewhere.
Yeah, no, it's down south somewhere. Where is it?
Right.
But yeah, he's invited me down there. That's really bad. Sorry, Krayze. I should definitely remember that. Yeah, he's invited me down there a fair few times. Me and Danny have gone and played sets down there since then. So yeah, we've got a good relationship. Like didn't beforehand, but we do now.
Yeah. And Bamalam is the host here. He's introducing himself as the worst host. This was very much that kind of Bamalam backlash 2013 era.
Sorry, Salisbury. That's where it is. Salisbury.
Okay, Krayze repping that SB. We're in Hampstead.
It's London now, but yeah.
We're in Hampstead Heath. You big up Soapbox. That was kind of a collective, wasn't it? Website sort of thing.
No, Soapbox is still running, man. It's a music and culture / media website based in Brighton. I think I'm involved.
Let's have fun, you say?
Yeah.
Like,
I say that and then I come out and spit like someone's just died. Yeah.
I mean, Bam just puts it on you. There's no coin toss. Were you cool with that?
I didn't really have a plan, to be honest. I just had like verses and I was just go do them and not fuck up. That was kind of the plan.
You start off in your first, you talk about there being lots of strings to your bow. As you say, you write and perform. You're so ill, you don't know how to describe what poorly is.
Yeah, I don't care. At the time, that was a bar. I don't care. It's trash now, but at the time, it was quite good.
No. I mean, it's a tryout, isn't it, Sleep?
Yeah,
so it's just kind of like, you know, everyone does this as well in their tryout. I found they do the kind of unanimous multis. So you say like your style's old and washed out, like Victorian ornaments found in an ancient orphanage and unearthed in an old man's emporium.
Yeah, I don't quite know where I was going.
No, I guess it's just kind of an ancient orphanage.
I say old, but I could have just said old, couldn't I?
I quite liked terraforming in him. That was quite nice.
Yeah. I watch a lot of Doctor Who, innit? Like,
right.
That's where that comes from. There's an episode where they terraform.
Right, yeah. And then, like, you know, we have to. You got to do name flips. Put an end to Krayze, like when Ronnie and Reggie was finally sentenced.
Yeah,
It's quite nice. So, I mean, in the background, as is with all these kind of park events, you have a huge coterie of stars. Marlo and Hulk are two of them in the background. Did you feel any pressure just because, you know, even, I mean, obviously Bama there as well, like, you know.
You know what? I'd had like a little bit of conversation with. I've been to events before.
Mm-hmm.
I went to I went to the last event they did at Cable, which was all the 2-on-2s and Shotty versus Math to the standard 7.
Oh yeah.
And I went to Verdict as well beforehand. So I'd been to like big events. So I'd sort of mooched around and met a couple of people or whatever. But it was more so than like going to like live DJ events. Like I don't know why to this day, but I still get a little bit of that sort of starstruck kind of thing, more like celebrity kind of thing, because it's because people I'm watching every day, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'd say a little bit. To be honest, I sort of blacked out a little bit and just didn't really look around. I was just do some material and thingy.
Yeah. No, I get that. And you know, Krayze, good delivery from the off from him. Really, you know, he did quite well. Smash your teeth up. Call it coincidental.
Yeah.
So, and then we have the whole. You're such an abnormal crease. You watch Paranormal Activity and said, "Mama saw the oven move."
That was definitely.
Which
that was so funny.
You know, there's some good stuff here. And then, you know, you say Krayze in the second. You know, his name is kind of like the stereotypical name for signing up for Lord of the Mics.
Yeah.
Your pen get.
People really got that. Like, I swear there was a point where, like, on JDZ Media or whatever, where there was like 30 MCs all called Krayze or Crazy or Crazy Z.
Yeah. I know.
I don't think anyone really got that. But
yeah, or CRAZ-E or something like that. Yeah, definitely.
Whatever many possible ways you can spell crazy. Yeah.
And you talk about his YouTube being My Hype Ting 08. Was that facts?
Yeah, it was. Actually.
Oh wow!
I'm not gonna lie. I was sort of doing a bit of YouTube stalking at the beginning and sort of found it, and I was just like, rah. Mm-hmm. I can't not say that.
Yeah. You move through your tube quicker than atoms in the Hadron Collider.
Yeah,
it's quite. It's quite nice. Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, you know, there's definitely a lot of elements here. I mean, it's a little.
You know, the thing is, I'm fully waiting till we get into later ones so I can just go, oh fucking shit. When the ratio starts to go, oh, you're not near anymore. You shouldn't be doing that.
I mean, he just sort of. He's not, again, Krayze isn't bad here. You see little girls and started getting hard like Freddie Starr.
Yeah.
It's kind of, you know, we kind of bait multis to a certain extent. We get to the judging of the tryout. Villain gives it to Krayze for consistency in the second. Good to see Gove there, kind of slept on.
Gove is the I don't know if you've seen the story of Gove, but Gove is the truth, top tier, eternal. Mm-hmm. You can't. Gove is just the best.
Yeah, he was great against Koj. Like, he was decent.
Just like, I shot your best friend. Oh, it's just gully fire.
He's the Goved.
Goved, yes.
Goved. You know, he tough choice again for Gove, but he bigs up Krayze. Hulk, Krayze takes it for him. I mean, a little disappointed here, were you, taking the 3-0 loss? Or
you know what? I went into it saying, as long as I don't choke, I'm happy.
Yeah.
That's genuinely the thing. So, like, to walk away and get invited back, I was like, to get put into the little group chat straight after, being like, oh yeah, you're all getting invited back. I was like, oh, good. Mm-hmm, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what else do you remember of that day? Was there any more battles after you, that choke fest? Or?
There was Willsy versus Integ was after me, which was quite good, and then there was the Danny choking against Spacey, I think it was, and Spacey tried to speak, but his mouth just wouldn't. His mouth was moving and no words were coming out. It was hilarious. And then Danny saying, with the best flip of all time, saying, "You should have done better research, bro, because I didn't even smoke, Dro,"
Yeah.
Again, that's the sort of inside joke because not many people have seen that, so they don't realize how funny I find that. There's quite a few references in my battles to stuff which are like inside jokes, which they're not necessarily like, oh, you need to know this, but they're inside jokes that I find funny. Like the same way, like you trying to think of a good example of like. It's sort of similar when you do stuff in music where it's stuff you want to make rather than like people will react to.
Sure. And invited back to a big event actually, the Set the Standard 9 event.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be so. You know what it was? Bard was talking, and I was like, yeah, I'll take Bard like straight away because I was like, I'm taking another one straight away. I want to get straight back in and improve on a few things.
Yeah, and it's the first battle of the day. Always the toughest battle of the day. I've got to say, Sleepy, I'm a big Bard fan. I think.
Yeah, you know what? So am I.
Yeah.
So am I.
Thinking he's going to claim a W before me, going online saying his pen game's nicer than mine. I think Piggy Pie's been telling a few porkies he needs to loosen up his whole persona. You need WD-40 because your sound need to loosen up your whole persona. You need WD-40 because your sounds worse than the WD-4 string.
I've never really understood why, battle-wise, he didn't get invited back. If there's stuff going on outside or whatever, fair enough. But like battle-wise, I've always rated him.
Yeah. I can't quite remember what the issue was. I think it was kind of he was doing the blog and there was a workload thing and he just wasn't really happy. And King of the Realms were a better avenue. But I think he's kind of retired now. Definitely want to see him come back against Lazy Ass Jaqq. I think that battle would be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, that'd be quite good.
Yeah, or maybe even like Bard Canel or something. Like, there's quite a lot of good matchups for Bard left on King of Realms. But
sort of not well spoken, just sort of more. What's the word?
Literate.
I wouldn't say literate. I was trying more textured, more layered in like the way they write rather than straight punches. Yeah. Well, I'm terrible at remembering words at the minute.
No, don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it. So this is interesting challenge as well for you because Bard, he'd shown a little bit of prowess in the Brains battle. Were you kind of taking him, on full value or? I'm
trying to think. They're really, to my knowledge, there's not been a battle that I haven't really, really prepared for.
Sure.
Like I haven't expected the worst. Because for me, I don't understand why you go into a battle and not put like your all into it. I don't understand why you put yourself in the line of fire and not like put the all into it. I've never really understood that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it doesn't really make sense. And Bard, it's always surreal just to see Bard on Don't Flop because he's so anti in many ways to that whole aesthetic. It is still quite cool. And he is really good in this battle. Gets in your face, starts to shouting thing. If my bars go over heads tonight, it just means the crowd's ducking me too.
Yeah.
It's a big reaction. He then calls that Sniper E, which is like,
that was just bizarre. I still to this day don't really quite know what's going on there.
No. And if battling loves anything, Sleepy, it's a good wrestling bar, and he does the big show.
So I don't really know. It's something I've probably missed out on.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Like, I've learned a lot about wrestling. I didn't watch it as a kid. I've learned a lot through Don't Flop.
Yeah.
It's like with basketball and URL. I don't watch it, but I know who Steph Curry is now.
Yeah, fully, man. Fully.
And fucking LeBron's hairline and shit like that. Just loads
all these things that are like normal culture. I had no idea before I heard, I don't know, some PG yell about it or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh man, the gift in battle rap in URL that PG is point guard as well as proving ground. It's just like that is just mind.
It's there to be.
Yeah.
It's there to be overused.
Oh god, yeah. And you talk in your first loosen up your whole persona. You need WD-40. You sound worse than the WD-4 stream, which is just dope, man. That's an insider sort of bar, like you were saying.
Yeah, well, you know, the thing is, literally, like the week before World Domination 4 was on, and I bought it, and I bought it, and listened to it, and it sounded awful. I couldn't hear a thing. Even if you watch the World Domination 4 battles back now, you can't really sound well off on them. So yeah, I was quite happy with that one.
Yeah, interesting setup where you say, "I don't mean this next bit in a homosexual way."
yeah. I didn't really think that one through.
No, but the thing is, though, even if you meant it in the way you meant it, it's still funny. You know what I mean? Like even if I've said before, I don't understand pause. Like any battler that's not comfortable with that sort of stuff can fuck off, really, to me. But like, you know, I like the way that you said that, and you laugh, and everyone laughs, and it's just a really good moment.
Yeah. I mean, again, I didn't really do the setup like that to get a lot of reaction. Sure. I did it because like the punch made too much sense not to do. It's one of those ones where you get like reaction for the bit you're not expecting. And the punch being, I'm sure everyone's on the edge of a seat. You say, didn't mean this next bit in a homosexual way. Started stuttering when brains are in your face. So, obviously he faced Brains, and do you remember when Brains threw his like wallet away in that tryout as well? That was that was quite a weird one. And you talk about he's basically Bard is going to be ignored by the sniper like an innocent civilian, which is quite nice close from the first for you. And Bard he's flipping. He just has loads and loads of flips, but he flips every round. Does a nice math flip as well, kind of nice with the English. I guess kind of math punch bars are played out even back then, but you know. They'd already been floating around.
And Bard is definitely one of these people that has that kind of, you know, fantasy, kind of just like out of this world celestial sort of wordplay at times. He says, you know, we have gun bars, Sleepy. He says that he has an iron cannon lined up in the deepest space. It's just like that image of Bard.
Yeah, this fair play, to be honest. I'm not going to argue with you if you know that much about it, to be honest.
We get an alcohol scheme from Bard, and I mean, this kind of happens in a lot of battles. I remember in Tony D. Yunnan, they both use a kind of retire bar, and you both use a bombardier bar. I think he knew that I was going to use it from the way that I think he sort of guessed that I was going to use it, right, to be honest. From the way that I'd sort of written in the previous one. I think that's what it was. I think that was a good prediction from him. Yeah, it definitely was. And there's kind of this good moment between you where he's like, "Oh, I said it better though," sort of thing, and you know that kind of gets people going. You revisit in your seconds that sort of tryout day and talk of Earth's face and just kind of like, you know, the aftermath of it. It was quite interesting. You get your point in from the beginning, like you weren't into foreplay. It's pretty hard. I can imagine B Magic saying that.
I completely forgot I said that, to be honest. Didn't get anything though, did it? That got like that.
No, it did actually. It got quite a bit. It gets quite a bit. It gets that kind of much vaunted laugh, which everyone's kind of craving. You know, that kind of goes above everyone else, sort of thing. Yeah. And you know, you do the creaming for heaters kind of line. Yeah.
Yes.
Nice end.
That's basically the answer to that. All of my bad bars are food bars.
Right. It works, definitely. Yeah. And then he sort of flips it, Bard, by saying he's a vag eater.
Yeah.
Which is...
class.
Yeah.
Class.
Quite nice. And, you know... A good battle by both of you. Interesting in your third as well. You sort of talk about how Bard's obsessed with Mark Grist. He's going to do a battle event called Gristalmania. That sort of stuff. And in the judging, you take it, like, you know, good feeling.
Yeah, I think I did. That's when I can safely say I think I got. I'm pretty sure I can say I was pretty happy with that. In general.
Yeah, it's interesting in the judging. We have Natural Impact and Shuffle. Natural and Impact both call him Beard. They just don't seem to get it. And really good battle, great performance from you both. Like, I was very impressed by Bard's flips. Actually, I kind of forgot, you know, he had that in his arsenal and he kind of utilised it quite well. But a great event, wasn't it? Set the standard 9. It must have been awesome to sort of do your battle first and have all these great battles to watch.
Yeah, man. Like, I was. That was the first time I'd been to Brixton Jam, and it was like an aim. Like, another weird thing for me is Brixton Jam was like always like a proper venue I wanted to perform at. Because it's like the dubstep history there is like huge. Like DMZ playing there, like starting off there and whatever. Like it was a big thing for me to like perform there. I didn't think it'd be rapping the first time I performed there, but yeah, I was loving it, man. It wasn't my first event, but I was up with Callum and Charlie, so it was just loving it, to be honest.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I mean, at this point, you know, was it a sort of a dream come true? You know, you were getting quite a lot of Don't Flop battles, like, you know, 2013, the year's closing. You've had one on the main channel.
I don't know, to be honest. Like, it was for me. It was never like the main outlet, because I was still doing other stuff behind the scenes. At this point, I was still playing under like Mr. Sleeps and doing the odd show here and there. So it was just like a side bow to kind of get people interested in what I was doing, if you know what I mean. It wasn't the main thing, but of course I was happy. Like to get a win under my belt, I was happy.
Yeah. And we skip ahead a little bit now, getting into the top 8 tournament versus Raptor.
And that was the April Fools. Let's talk about it. We did all right. I got to prop you. And he's undefeated in the mids, apparently. On beat, he'll straight rock you. But me, man, I bring skills to the mids like JJ Okocha, J straight.
It's made a lot of in the battle, and you kind of almost wouldn't know this if you weren't aware, which makes it even more impressive that it was done on 3 days prep. So Raptor was supposed to battle someone Prospects. Is that his name?
Yeah. There was a Brighton. There was a couple of more in between that though, weren't there?
Yeah, there were, but I mean, you know, we've kind of got to
Sorry.
pick our battles, so to speak. You know, but I mean, yeah, there was. Yeah, you battled Integ, Wilsey, and Mr. Tongue Twister. Mr. Tongue Twister, which has that quite controversial judging video.
Yes.
I mean, how do you feel about that?
You know what? The weird thing is, something I've noticed about me is, I don't translate well to camera at all. I really don't translate well to camera. I never have done in like anything. Performance-wise, I don't translate well to camera. I don't know if it's like the way my voice gets captured or whatever. Like, it just doesn't. For some reason, I don't tend to come across well on camera. So in the building, I genuinely thought I'd won. It felt like I'd won, and I'm quite honest with decisions like that. Sure. Like, I honestly felt like I'd won. I watched it back. He killed me. But in the building, it felt like I'd won.
Right.
So when the decision came out, I was like, yeah. And then I watched it back, and I was like, everyone's going, oh, I robbed him. I'm like, well, yeah, I suppose that's right.
Yeah, I mean, you know, whatever. That is that weird distinction, isn't it? Like, I remember Arsenal Briz came out recently. I don't know if you watched that, and I was just hearing so many great things about it. And then I watched it. It was such a just lame kind of nothing battle. And the guys on Angry Fan were sort of saying as much, like, you know, we're sorry, we're hyping it up so much. And when you watch it, it's just a bit, what is it? I don't know. There's something missing there. So yeah, I mean, it can happen. It afflicts a lot of things, but I think battling definitely can be one of the biggest proponents of that. But we'll get to Raptor. Who was Prospects? I don't really remember this guy.
Prospects is a Brighton-based MC. He's one of the people that, believe it or not, he was one of the people in the circles I used to go youth club with. I was never like super close with him.
Right.
But he was always sort of in the room while we were like doing stuff. He was always more of a hip hop guy. I was more of a grime guy. But yeah, man, he was always like. Yeah, he's always been around, and obviously started moving with Rumbustious, which is like Rum Committee's like base label, which is a hip hop label based in Brighton. And yeah, he's just a solid hip hop MC, to be honest, man. Like no shade, he's like really, really good. Yeah.
I just wasn't really aware of him. And obviously this is Raptor. You know, this is June 2014, but still it's Raptor, like, who will go on to do incredible things. Who kind of already made a huge name for himself on Wrapped in Wire and Words of Weapons, especially.
Yeah, man. Like, it was I can't remember who it was. How did it come about? Someone dropped out, and then Cracker like added me, saying I reckon it should be one of the people that should have been in the first top 8, and he added me, and I was like, ooh. And then I got an inbox from her, just like, will you do it? Can you do it? Can you do it, please?
Yeah,
can you do it?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
I didn't sleep very well for a couple of days.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You said earlier that, you know, you're the sort of person that puts his effort into it, and on a 3-day run as well, that must have been pretty draining.
I'm not gonna lie. A lot of the time, I tend to come out with better material when I work quickly, like in anything, in production as well. Like if I spend like a week on a tune, it's not going to sound as good as if I spend like 6 hours in one day on it.
Sure.
So yeah, again, I think if he hadn't have had the stumble, it would have been a lot closer. But that you have to put that down to prep. He would have definitely gone and won that tournament anyway.
It did kind of feel that he was being groomed for victory.
Yeah, I had to come put a little thorn in the side. I always used to pop up when someone was like on a good run.
Yeah. This is the first branded Don't Flop Extra event. This is before training days. Became its own entity.
I was so pissed when I found that out properly. I was so pissed that wasn't on main channel. Because that would be on that means the highest view battle I would have had would have been a clear win, would have been a win, not a disgusting loss.
The regional battles had to be rearranged. You came in, you're rocking the old school Don't Flop South shirt. It's pretty cool to see. Yeah. I really love that design. This is the event, if people want to place it in their visual memory, where Old English is rocking the SpongeBob look.
Yes.
Which is...
Right, the worst thing about that is that video, there's more comments on that video about the SpongeBob outfit than me winning, which is really depressing.
I'll never know why he dressed that way, but, fair enough.
Neither will I.
No. Also, was this event with Filthy Phil and HK?
It was.
Yeah.
I think it was, and that,
and another great battle. And, you say the stumble cost him. Raptor kind of lacks the spark here for me. Like, I'm a big Raptor fan. Don't get me wrong. He lacks that kind of electricity in his writing that he has later.
You know what I think that is just because it was short notice. That's the only reason behind that. It was. Yeah, I mean, it was close. It was close on the. It felt close on the day. It did feel like I edged it. I know my rounds were slightly longer, but yeah. Yeah, it's a good one to have under the belt so that I can just turn around and say, beat him.
Yeah, oh God, yeah. No, I think, wasn't that Battlers Read Mean Comments? I think you and Raptor were there and he got mentioned that...
Oh, that was so funny.
Yeah.
I think we've been drinking since like 1 in the afternoon, and the event finished at 5, and that was at 9 at night, so we were all fucking mullered. I was already down a litre of... full bottle of whiskey, so I was gone.
Oh shit. And you start off by saying, in reference to prospects, you're the better Brighton spitter. Short notice, don't be surprised if what I'm writing and rhyming doesn't make any sense. This was 3 days prep, obviously going to bring 3 rounds of indirects, which is pretty nice. With Sleep we get a lot of, as with Craft D, as with Tony D, we get a lot of football bars from you. Really nice, bringing skills to the mids like JJ Kutcher.
Yeah, you know what? I think that might be the bar that's sort of won it for me from early. Mm-hmm. That's the bar that everyone quotes from that as well. I think I'll say everyone, as though I get a stream of fan mail also. But no, whenever anyone talks to me about it, that's the bar they say.
Yeah.
I like football bars, man. People football bars, but when they're done well, I rate them. I rate them high.
It's the thing with football bars is, football knowledge is so nerdy, isn't it? There's so many players and events to be aware of, and weird surnames that you can mess about with. Yeah, so I think that's kind of why it's good. That's something like a Kutcher or Gareth Bale turned a mic on.
That bar is so cold. That bar is so cold.
Yeah, I suppose so. It's just, it doesn't make sense in terms of pronouns. You wouldn't say Gareth Bale turned a mic on. You say he turned mic on. But I'm picking hairs, Sleepy. I'm picking hairs.
Yeah, there's got to be another player called Mike. There's got to be another player called Mike on somewhere.
Right. Yeah.
I think that's a reach.
Yeah. It's basically your metabolism best describes how Raptor writes. He doesn't break shit down, which I suppose is kind of true back then. He didn't have quite as his precise kind of attack.
Yeah, I may have put that into it maybe. I don't know.
It's a big round, your first. I have to say, it's really good. It works well. And lots of multis from Raptor, lots of monster, fuel to the fire kind of stuff like that. Pretty brief, pretty forgettable actually, I have to say, in that first. I wasn't really feeling him that much. You talked about entering in the turn. So the top 8 before you, who won that? I'm trying to think that you weren't part of.
It was Mr. E.
Oh, that's right. Who won
before. I still to this day think Kojo won the final.
Yeah.
But whatever, Ree went on to do very, very well in his international, and sort of he's like a solidified like top name now. So
yeah, that's true.
That's true. Yeah, that's well.
And wrong bitch. I've been catfished. We get that sort of getting pissed and smoking pot left and with no pot to piss in. It's his second is also strong, man. I mean, I couldn't believe. And it gets said in the judging post that it was 3 days prep. You both brought it hard. Like, how were you dividing those days? Were you kind of writing on the first, memorizing the second?
Both days as well. So I was at work, cooking away, and I wrote both the rounds there and then when it got thinged. I literally just went, right, I'm doing this now so I can spend the entire time memorizing, because my memory's quite bad.
Yeah.
Despite the fact I've never joked, just because I rehearse so much. I just rehearse and rehearse. Like, realistically, there's like a minimum 100 run throughs of each battle I do. So I'm sort of there at work, and it's an open plan kitchen, so there's people coming in, and I'm just going there, going like, and there's people looking at me like, what the fuck is he doing? but yeah. To be honest, I wrote it pretty much straight away, and then kind of just rehearsed for the next 2 days.
I mean, you come out with the win.
Yeah. I think it's a fair enough result.
Yeah, I agree actually. Yeah, I watched this a few days ago. I watched it many, how many for years it was uploaded, and I remember feeling a bit like, oh, did he really? But yeah, if I watch it objectively, you did win. An old English, old sponge has you, taking the first. He feels that it shouldn't have been a tournament battle, but he thinks that it's your best battle. Natural wanted Raptor to win, but he thinks that you won. Bam agrees. Ark has you taking it. Villain thinks the choke let him down. You had better bars. When you win, you sort of turn to the camera and like, never again, like 3 days prep. I then go and do the 24-hour thing. No, I probably wouldn't. No. And
I can't. It's not ever writing it off completely, but it's going to take quite a lot for me to go back to that.
And I didn't actually rewatch this before the episode, but I saw in the thumbnail after the video they previewed it. You guys got interviewed by the often praised, often maligned Read Between the Bars guys.
I miss them boys, man.
Yeah, me too.
When we went up to Shotty versus Tony, it was me, Char, Danny, and them boys on a coach. So we were like, I spent like a day with them. They are funny.
Yeah.
Funny guys.
Yeah. They got a lot of hate.
I enjoyed this as well, man. Like they're again, it's consistent media. That's the one thing that's lacking in the UK, I find.
Yeah, and people might insult them maybe for the Sunburn interviews that are a bit kind of non-substantial, but their actual channel where they just broke down battles was great. Like, I really liked those two.
It was like the best one that I found. Like, I preferred, I used to watch Angry Fan and J Black quite regularly. Not as much anymore. I watch J Black still, but I found it was more entertaining than those. So yeah. So I don't know whether I spoke to Polo on Twitter about 6 months ago, and he said, "Yeah, just hibernating." So I don't know.
Yeah, fair enough. Actually, I saw Read Between the Bars commented on one of the Battle Rap Resume videos recently. I'd love to have those guys on. I need to just reach out. That'd be great to hear their story. But yeah, everyone go check out Read Between the Bars. Go subscribe, stuff like that.
Make sure you go check that.
Yeah, but beating Raptor takes you further on in the tournament. A long time coming, wasn't it? The Twisted Pennies battle. There was quite a break between.
And despite the fact he's a no-name, this matchup still got me set for the top. I'm a move like the Wolf of Wall Street. Why? I came here to make my name off penny stock. Wins in DF. I don't expect you to get a lot. And he doesn't know it yet, but he's definitely getting washed. But you know what I reckon will send in the message? Watch, I'll show him how these punches work until the penny drops. Let's rock. You said, I live in the Lord of the Rings fantasy world anyway.
It was a really long break. It was like 6 months.
Yeah, it was. I watched this battle in the weirdest place. I watched it in Chile. No, it was the Buenos Aires airport.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's been about.
Yeah. I remember we were coming home. I was away for Christmas or whatever with a few people, and we were coming back and we were delayed, and I was like, oh, what's new on Don't Flop? The Wi-Fi in the airport was great. And I remember sitting down and watching this battle. I remember it vividly, man. And, a good shout. Like, if people say Twisted Pennies wins this, what's your response to that?
Honestly, I don't know. It's the honest answer, because I think my first is by far the best round of that whole battle. Mm-hmm. That's what I think. I think he takes the second really clearly, and I think the third's up for debate. So that's how I kind of see it.
Yeah. I mean, he does sing in the third, I guess, which kind of some people don't get. Yeah,
and I think this is the thing. A lot of people get on me about having super long rounds versus Shox. But people forget that Penny's had like 4.5 minute rounds, and I had 130s in this one. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I think, that was the thing for me. If like he had like extremely long rounds. But I've always said if you can do the long rounds, get away with it, and you can get away with it, do it, because the time's there to be used. But I don't really know, to be honest, man. I think. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, look, it is a really, really good battle. Personally, I think I do have Twisted just edging it. I just...
Do.
Yeah. But I think your first has probably your best bar ever, in my opinion. It's definitely my favourite Sleepy G bar. Wolf of Wall Street, Making My Name Off Penny Stock.
Yeah, I was quite chuffed with that one.
That's hard, man. That's really hard. Yeah. Really, really good. And, you impersonate him in the first, doing the sort of Lord of the Rings fancy, and then when he steps in the ring, the physical presence disappears.
Yeah. I'm a big Tolkien fan as well.
Right. Right. If I take care of the pounds, Penny won't be able to take care of himself.
Yeah.
It's hard, man. It's hard. And Twisted Pennies has that kind of salubrious, kind of, twisted kind of way of talking. The whole
very, very UK hip hop. I find.
Yeah.
Like very, very. That's not necessarily an insult. Like if that's your style, that's your style, isn't it? Mm-hmm. But he pulls it off really well. I find.
Yeah, completely. TP's greasy. Anyone thinks this shit guy's sick with rhymes must have been hypnotised by a Mystic guy saying, "You are now feeling sleepy."
Yeah, that was fire.
That's absolute fire. Yeah, so good. Going ham on all these as the price salmon deals. It just kind of isn't necessarily punched that hard, but it's just always quite interesting to listen to. Always quite varied and
it's really well structured. That's what I was going to say about Bard as well. That was the word I was looking for. Mm-hmm. Like the structure's really, really well. Everything. It's like not, and it's not like a task to listen to. Like it comes through nicely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And it should say as well, this was a break battle at 6th birthday, so you're back outside in that pit format. I mean, are you more comfortable there, or?
Yeah, I prefer the pit, to be honest. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've only battled on stage twice, but again, when it comes to live stuff as well, I prefer intimate venues. And there's a venue in Brighton called Concord, which is like the biggest one here, which is like I think 800 people or something like that, and that's a big like stage arena kind of place. And then there's a place called Patterns, which has only like 350 capacity, but it's like a small room. And I prefer being able to see the whites of people's eyes. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, no, I get that. Twisted Penny says you look like Ray Winston if you played a Simpson.
I'm not yellow, bro. Like, I never quite understood that one.
I guess it's sort of just a slightly cartoonish element. I'm not saying you look like a cartoon, but I don't really know. I mean, I guess if you think about it too much, it doesn't really... I
never really got that. To be honest, I never really got that one, because I don't think I look that much like Ray Winston either, so...
No, I suppose no, if you scrutinise it, no. And then Twisted Pennies kind of gets honest in the second. He thought that coming to events would be a good way to make friends, and it's quite a nice little kind of confession.
Yeah.
And in the judging, we get Raptor, your old foe Raptor. He's still at it, he says. He's still, still letting us know that he's around. He feels that you get it. Briggsy agrees with him. Didn't feel the singing. Pete Cashmore gives it Twisted Pennies. Good to see Pete Cashmore there. Wilsey feels you take the last two. And Harry Baker, he feels you were more direct with it. So taking another victory, I mean, were you thinking, I might be able to win this tournament? I got 2 wins.
People say Juan's got bars, he breaks down MCs and rips apart their flows. But I reckon in 4 bars I could summarise how every single one one of those 4 bars goes. The first line, it's like term time. Find out the topic he's working on. Second, a sarcastic statement, claim he must have heard wrong. Third, same as the second, to make sure the rhyme scheme doesn't turn off. And then fourth, just reference a scene in a program he knows that everyone's heard of. Those office bars, really? You think that's the type of shit that would play me? I'm like Alonzo when they get in the whip and you hear the steel Dre beat, because it's your training day, Officer Juan.
Yeah, to be honest, I think I was the favourite going into the final. In general, the general consensus was that I was the favourite from what I gathered. Yeah.
So, let's get into this. I mean, Juan at this point, obviously now he's going to Australia, he's battled O'Shea, he's battled Sharon, but he was still kind of very much the young up-and-comer at this point.
Yeah, I can safely say him clarting me right off did a lot for him.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, I mean, to this day, I still think that's his best performance. I think I might have been like his ideal target. Like,
true.
I just got bodied. There's not really much more to it. It's got just absolutely washed.
Fair enough, man. I mean, it's just a battle at the end of the day, and you have a nice Zoe Barnes punch in the first.
Yeah, you know what it is? I went into that like stupidly thinking like, yeah, I'm just gonna sort of outbar him and sort of like move around a bit more and sort of be a bit more of a presence, and it just didn't work. It just didn't work at all. There was a couple of ones in there that I was quite happy with. I can't remember any of them now. I've sort of like smeared the entire thing from my memory.
Sure. There's a bar of yours that I can imagine Shox saying this, and it like go really hard. It's like, you're too young to know the first rule of economics. If you're not selling it, they're not buying it. Like, it's not, there's no wordplay there. That's just grown man bars.
Yeah. Again, it just didn't pop.
Yeah.
Wrong. Like, I was in the wrong venue to take the angle that I took. It might have worked a bit better in London, maybe. But you could tell the whole day the crowd were literally like exactly what they wanted was like what Juan was doing, and they just weren't feeling me at all. Which is fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, he's saying prepping for this battle. Should I come personal or strip your style down so it's cheesier than 5 Graters?
Bang.
Yeah.
Punchline.
Yeah,
it's another food bar. All the bad bars are food bars.
Isn't clear you aren't mid-tier, don't have to disappear to make you disappear, sort of Brighton sort of stuff here. It's decent. It is very, very good from Juan, and I agree what you're saying.
Very, very good. Don't beat around the bush. It's all very, very good. It's the best anyone's ever come against me.
Yeah, I think so. You definitely, the momentum are caught with him. He goes on and you saying the word finner, evokes you as a trap guard, that kind of stuff. It's just kind of, and
my favourite bar of his and that entire thing is where he says Skrillex invented dubstep. I found that so funny.
Yeah,
I was in tears at that.
Yeah, it was very, very good from him. And
that is the one that hit me right in the feels.
And Juan always has that condescending, like, "Aww," like he just sort of, that's almost just one of his many slogans. But yeah, it's he does very, very good here. And you keep fighting. It's not necessarily like apparently you've used two. Apparently Juan used two Hendrix bars. So you kind of have him obsessed with it.
Yes.
But
see, I was grasping at strings. Oh, wordplay.
But yeah, I mean, cheesier than a 5 Graters, and then he says you mentioned wetter than a Sea Life Center, and they're in the same round. Is that correct?
They are. They're in the same They're in the same extended rhyme scheme.
Right. And then quite interesting that Callum gets involved then with Rob and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I've like made him an easy target or whatever, but yeah, at that point, yeah. I have literally nothing to say. I can't really defend anything.
Right. Yeah, we'll evacuate ship soon.
Carry on. Just done.
One kind of capping off that kind of Rob Wilson moment, Callum. You're so insignificant in this league. Your own hype man's more relevant than you.
Facts.
It's just it's really harsh. Like
facts though. Still facts to this day.
Yeah. You go into the camera in the third and you kind of ask Charlie to stop recording it, and you have this sort of
flip. Failed attempt at a flip.
And
Didn't work.
you do an impression of Denzel in Training Days?
Do I actually do an impression?
I don't know if you do an impression, but you kind of reference a lot of Training Days stuff, and I haven't actually seen that around for a while. I'm just going on the notes here, but
I don't think I did an actual impression. I did have training. I did have a Training Days bar there. I remember that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What was his name? Jake or something like that.
Jaqq Hoyt.
Yeah.
So we get to the judging. Brucey says that you bodied yourself.
Yeah.
Which is quite harsh. Luna gives it to Juan. Gives it you for the best name though. Which is quite nice. Says that Juan looks like a proclaimer. O'Shea calls it pretty even and gives you the vote.
He came up to me afterwards and said, "Yeah, I didn't want it to be 7-0."
Oh, so, what the go?
that literally, as soon as the decision got called, I went 6-1. Who gave it to me? That's the first thing I said.
Impact for Juan had more charisma. Dialect and Matter agree. Wilsey gives it a clear free zip to Juan. I mean, it's one of those things, Sleepy, isn't it? Like, Juan was going to kind of body anyone. Like, it's not necessarily.
I think I may have been his perfect target without realising it. Like my whole approach, I think, was literally exactly what he's good at stopping.
That's true. Yeah. That's true.
Badly planned, I think. Badly planned. But I've never been that good at writing jokes, despite the fact I watch nothing but comedy. I've never been very good at writing jokes, so I don't really know what I could have done to beat him, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. It would have been hard for anyone. And next battle of yours is a battle, against Shox. Like Shox, oh fucking hell! His first round in this is just monumentous, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like absolutely sensational. I mean, Shox, I guess you had seen him face Cracker at this weekend, and then that was the next one, or?
Yeah, this was like 4 or 5 weeks after this. We were meant to battle in Manchester originally. Shox asked for me originally. So
this the grade of target I've been marking. They say don't flop's corny, and these URL caps they ain't into that. So he's here trying to fill a gap, but won't fit in that like shit parking. The kid Juan said I just want to yell out 300. That just means Shox walled in versus the big Spartan.
Like taking on someone like Shox. I mean, you're taking a lot of battles at this point, quite consistently. Were you getting weary at all, or were you just sort of keep going on?
No, do you know what it was? It was the writing I enjoyed, man. I've always enjoyed writing just writing with a point, not just aimlessly writing. But
sure.
Like, I mean, so at the time I was still doing a lot of stuff for Soapbox. I was also blogging for a record label called Green Collective at the time. I mean, I do a lot of the press stuff now. I run a very small press company as well.
Sure.
So I just like writing if it's about music, if it's about a subject, like actually getting into it. But I enjoy that. So very much. That was the thing that kept me going. The actual performing and the memorizing, I hated, but just coming up with the content and having it sit, that was like my favorite bit.
Yeah, no, I get you, man. And I used to watch this battle loads, so I still kind of watch it a little bit. But yeah, especially I just used to be obsessed, especially with Shox's performance. I thought he was fantastic here, and yourself as well. You go toe to toe and you beat him. Like you've taken a lot of big scalps.
Yeah, I think. Again, I think in this one, I think again my first is my best round. I think the third is close, and then he gets the second clearly. So for me, it depends on who you. I mean, I think I just take the first. I think he takes the second clearly, and then the third's up for debate. So I think it's based on who takes the third.
He takes the first.
Honestly,
drop a tail for a lowercase is one of the best bars ever.
Yeah, but then I think my what's it? The
sorry, you are the guest.
Wrestling bar I've ever done. The one wrestling bar I've ever done.
Right.
I think that was on a level. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's all opinions, isn't it? And I'm not obviously. It's great to have you on the show. Like, I'm not kind of saying it that way or anything.
I don't know. Honest. I think he takes the second clearly. I think the first is debatable.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd edge the first to myself just on preference.
Sure.
And then I think the third's debatable as well. So it depends on how you feel. I think most people who've seen it call it 2-1, him taking the first and second. But
yeah, I think that's fair. And 2015, so this battle was uploaded in April. We then get the Bizzo clash in September, and you team up with Danny against Press One and Lenz One in October. You going to battle again, or you didn't battle any in 2016? Is there any urge there, or?
To be honest, I've sort of gone in and got what I wanted.
Yeah.
I've got a fairly respectable record. I've gone in. I've met people I wanted to meet. I've I'm still at pretty much every big show anyway. Again, going in and DJing is kind of like my secret aim was to do it.
We need to get to that. Yeah.
That was like my secret aim to do it. So unless it's the right battle in the right situation, like if it's like a Brighton event and it's someone who there's like a reason for me to clash or whatever, or like I might do something on training days maybe. But I don't know. At the minute, there's nothing it's not a clear no, but there's nothing that's enticing me to do it at the minute.
Sure, that makes sense. And before we get into the DJ stuff, I guess teaming up with Danny, I'm always interested in the dynamic of someone who's battled solo for so long and then going toe to toe with someone else, collabing. Like, was that difficult or?
You know what? Me and Danny are good friends, innit? We spend quite a lot of time getting wavy together. At this point, we'd done a couple of shows together already, and yeah, I think we vibe quite well off each other. No one else seems to think so. Again, I don't translate well to camera. He translates really well to camera, and I don't.
Right.
So yeah, I think. Well, I mean, we spent a couple of weekends getting the material together. Then we spent we were doing rehearsing separately because obviously he lives in London, I live in Brighton. And then I went up 3 or 4 days before the event and up to his house and just stayed there every night. And we just rehearsed every day, in person, which is why my performance is a little bit. I don't choke, but it's a little bit stumbly because I'm used to doing a lot more prep.
Yeah.
But in general, I mean, a lot of the lines that I say that get reaction, he wrote for me, and a lot of the stuff that he says to get reactions, I wrote for him. So I think it did cross over quite well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah.
Because obviously, if you're looking at someone. If you're looking at someone you're 2-on-2ing with, you know how they come across better than they do. So there was a couple of things that I felt that if he said, they would bang, and there were a couple of things that if he said that I said would bang. So I think that's what the best thing about doing a 2-on-2 is. You can sort of look at it. You get an opinion on what you're saying, which isn't you get a battle opinion on what you're saying, which isn't being nice, and it's a battle. So you're not getting harshly thrown at you, but people say, no, if you say it like that, that'll probably work better, rather than people just being oh yeah, sick, man. You know what I mean? Because they want to win as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I mean, would you and Danny ever team up for a training days thing, or would you come back solo? Or
I wouldn't mind doing another 2-on-2 with Danny, man, because I think now we've got what is it now? We've done about 12 shows together in total, I think. And we've got a really good on-stage chemistry now, so I think it would work. I think it would work a lot better.
Is that Sleepy Jaqq? Is that what you go under, or?
No, it's Kovu and Danny Jaqq. It's pronounced Kovu, but it's the Lion King out of Lion King 2.
Yeah, the Simba's Pride, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Kovu and Danny Jaqq, or Kovu hosted by Danny Jaqq, or whatever. That's
right. And Kovu moving into the kind of DJ sphere, when was your first time you were DJing at a Don't Flop event?
Sunburn 2 was the first one I did. I got a text from Callum saying their DJ pulled out, and I was already on the train to London at the time.
Yeah.
So I said, right, can you go to my house and grab my CDs and bring them up and I'll do it. And he was like, yeah, cool. And then just did it, and it got quite a good reaction. I think I remember people saying that a DJ had never really got a reaction at a Don't Flop event before, so it was quite a cool thing it's quite a niche thing to be able to say, I think.
Yeah, completely. And I'm a bit ignorant, really, Sleepy, to just not necessarily the role of the DJ, but just kind of so are you building a set there and then? Are you kind of taking requests or?
There's sort of, I see it as there's sort of 3 spheres of DJing. There's your I wouldn't say pop, but your standardized format DJ, which is like someone who plays stuff that people know. They play stuff that as many people will know as possible. That's like the way they play. That's the sort of person you'll see in like in a normal nightclub or whatever. And then you've got niche, and I fall under the niche category because I choose entirely what I play. I don't really have any set lists to go off, and like the reason it's the reason you'd come to see me at a live set is because you're coming to see my set, not just any sort of standard of music. The only times I've ever pre-prepared a set are for sound clashes. They're the only times I do it. Everything else, it's pretty much I've got a big box of CD, I use memory sticks now, so I've just got a big like selection of tunes and I just go through and go, oh yeah, play that next. It's the same story live. It's like reading what people are interested in and stuff like that.
Yeah. And when you did the sound clash 7th birthday, that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, it was. You know what? It was a concept I thought more people would be aware of, because they're so closely linked. Like sound clash, basically grime originally, like the whole idea of grime in its purest format does come from sound clash culture, and that's something that's like so entwined with Don't Flop now, and like grime clash and Lord of the Mics or whatever. Like grime clashes are so like in tune with the battle world. I thought more people would know what it was like. Cause I remember Tony was telling me afterwards, like him and Locksmith and all like the E&D like were all like loving it because it's a different era essentially. So yeah, I mean it was Cade saw Rowan at Lord of the Mics. I was like, yeah, I'll clash anyone. And then Rowan hit me up and I was like, yeah, let's do it because I wanted to do one. And yeah, then sort of went from there. I think it would have banged better at like a grime clash event in a smaller, where it's a bit more intimate or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy I did it. I can safely say I'm the first one to do it, and
Yeah. No, definitely, man. It was definitely new ground broken, and you kind of Don't Flop's resident DJ now. Is that your kind of?
As long as it's like an event that it's valid me getting there too, then they'll get me there. It's a unique thing to sort of. I think it's a unique thing that Don't Flop has, is to have like a resident DJ that's like doing things elsewhere as well.
Yeah,
that's not just like he's this crew's DJ or whatever. Like, so obviously I've got so many flipping projects on at the minute or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what like, man? I mean, keep us up to date. You got an album coming out soon, you said?
Yeah, my album is out next Thursday. Well, it'll be January the 12th. I don't know what day this comes out. So
yeah, probably after that. Yeah.
Probably after that. So January the 12th. So my album is now out by the time this comes out. It's called Cub in the Caribbean. It's a themed project, basically building off the sort of instrumentation of Pirates of the Caribbean. I like doing a lot of themed projects. I like working to like an idea. Like I had a couple of EPs out last year. I had the Lion Cub EP, which is all like names and themes of stuff off Lion King basically, and then I had Ragnarok, which is all like Norse themes and Norse like ideals, like musical stuff. It sounds a lot deeper than it actually is, but stuff. But yeah, Cub in the Caribbean is out on my label South Point, which I run with my friend Josh Gunston. And yeah, that South Point's like my main project at the minute.
Right. That's awesome. And is that you do a radio show? Is that right as well?
Yeah, I run I run the South Point show on Trickstar Radio every Thursday, 6 to 8 p.m, which gets a really good listener base as well. So,
that's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's I've always noticed it's a weird crossover going from like, because it's not necessarily such a niche scene, but it is like a scene that you have to sort of be into to follow, and the same with battling. So it's weird. It's not always like the most natural thing to cross the mesh over. I think a lot of people find. I remember I posted about Beat Boss, which is a grime like producer tournament. It's quite a popular one. I remember posting about that in Viewpoint, and someone went, "Oh, is it so? Like, is there any rapping?" And I was like, I explained it to them, and I went, "Oh, I don't get how it's clashing then." And I was like, and it's difficult. Again, it's difficult to bridge the gap sometimes, but I think eventually it will get there, where it's like clashing synonymous. Like, I mean, the amount of sound clashes I'm doing now, like I'm in a tournament called Dub Plate Dons, which is Knowledge is Power, which is a DJ tournament, which I'm involved in at the minute. Which I've got through the first round for. I've just had my second round opponent, and then I did a clash with Free Range, which is like arguably one of Brighton's biggest like event companies. I did a clash with them, and that got really good reception. So like, there's a lot. I'm a big fan of clash culture in general, whether it be like rap battling, whether it be producer battling, whether it be sound clashing, whatever. Like culture clash is the maddest thing to me. Like that's awesome. But I was brought up watching sound clashes and whatever. That's what I was like brought up watching. So yeah. Yeah, just staying busy, to be honest.
Yeah. No, excellent, man. Good to hear, Sleep. So we'll close up, as we always do, with a few quick fire questions. Yeah. The first of which being favourite Don't Flop battle.
Oh, that's toughy. That's a really toughie. They're not words. What am I? I don't know. At the minute, you know what? I think. You see, Yunnan used to be my favourite. Obviously, he's not that active anymore, so I don't know, but I think possibly Yunnan Chris Lee's entirely for Yunnan's performance.
You know what? Yeah, Yunnan's performance today is sensational. I have to agree.
So that for me.
Don't remember, like,
that obviously, I did the inside joke on that.
Yeah.
And it was, again, no one got it. So again, that's something me and Danny were like in stitches about for like days. But yeah, maybe that. I mean, there's a few really. It's quite hard off the top. I mean, Tony O'Shea is awesome. Any O'Shea battle, to be honest, man. O'Shea is my favourite. So,
and King of the Dart, Sleep.
Big K versus Ill Will. No doubt whatsoever.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's a good choice. URL.
I don't know, because URL fluctuates so. My opinions on URL fluctuate so much. Probably Shug versus T-Top, probably.
Okay.
Just because of everything about that battle was like perfect.
Yeah. No, that's another really intriguing choice. So, final two non-battle rap related. The first one being favorite film.
It's probably quite obvious because I've mentioned them both in battles. Either Beautiful Mind, or Training Day, or Limitless. It's one of those three. I haven't mentioned them. I have actually mentioned Limitless. Yeah, I have. So.
Okay. Interesting. And finally, Sleepy, your favourite musical artist or band that is in no way hip hop related. I'll also say no way in grime related either.
Can it be reggae?
Yeah, of course.
Reggae. I'm sort of cheating here because reggae is like my second. My reggae and dub's like one of my main things. So, I don't know. Maybe Alkaline at the minute. Who's a dancehall guy. Yeah, it's weird. It's a tough one. I mean, I'm trying to think. Yeah, probably Alkaline.
Okay.
Actually, no, The Weeknd. This is The Weeknd count.
Whatever. Well, it all counts. The
Weeknd is. I don't know why I didn't say The Weeknd at first. The Weeknd of 4 years ago is my favourite.
Right. Hashtag Starboy. So yeah,
never that trilogy all the way.
So cheers, man. I guess finally, how do people get at you? Social media, that sort of stuff.
I'm quite lucky. I changed it all recently, so it's all the same. It's Cub KXVU on everything.
Right.
So /Cub KXVU at Cub KXVU on the SoundCloud and on the Facebook page and whatever. Make sure you go follow me on SoundCloud. That's the main one. If you have SoundCloud, follow me. My Twitter's all right. I'm not too fussed about that, but I'm trying to get.
You just seem to rant about Man U games on there, which is fair enough.
Don't get me started. Don't get me. I've been quiet the last couple of weeks because we've been doing all right.
Right.
Yeah. See, it's for that, or just randomly like quoting like Bashment tunes.
Right, but cheers, Mr. Sleep. Sleep, this has been great, man.
Nice one, man. Thanks for having me.
All good.